Hopefully so much.
Attention, please. Welcome to the Pawtucket Poetry 5th Anniversary. I am thankful for your, on behalf of Wifey and I, we are thankful for you to make it out to the 5th anniversary. All our features and all the open micers, and we give thanks to everyone who made this possible. We're going to start off with the open mic first without no delay, although we are a few minutes behind time. But Vinnie.
Thank you. Hi, my name's Vinnie Sirocco, and for those of you who don't know me, and for those that do, I apologize. I have a poem called Old School that I wrote for a couple of friends, and I'd like to share it. As I gaze into the sun, I travel back some 40 years. I remember all the fun. That bond never disappears. Coat hangers for an antenna. Our cabin's phone was just a can. We ate our Wheaties with Bruce Jenner. Back then he knew he was a man. We drank from garden hoses, and we swung from ropes we tied to trees. We put helicopters on our noses and drank Mad Dog when no one sees. I had a Crossman pellet gun that I would load with rocks of salt. I'd pump it 10 and then add one for those I wanted to assault. We'd steal wood and to build a fort. A while later, we'd tear it down. If there was no way we'd get caught, we'd burn the sucker to the ground. Toys were made of common things, sticks and stones. They hurt like hell. We climbed trees like we had wings, and we didn't stop till someone fell. Those times today, they barely exist. The World Wide Web is now the craze. Virtual friends keep virtual lists. They've learned to meet in virtual ways. But we have grown up face to face, and we've defined what's known as cool. Our bonds can never be replaced. Still going strong. We are old school. Thank you.
Armanda is next. You can put it on.
Hi. Hi. Hi, my name's Armanda Moda, and I just published my first book. I've been writing since I was 11 years old. Wow. And two of my biggest fans are here, my sister Candida and my daughter Myra. I'm going to read a poem called Homeless. It's in my new book called Gooding Street, and it's one of my most recent written ones. So here goes. Homeless. I'm homeless in the shell I wear, unbathed and unshaved, cursing your name near the grave. Homeless in the car I drive, the streets alive, I feel dead inside. Cars collide, no reaction. Homeless in the job I do, I think of you. Pushed to make another day and change the way, wishing I could have. Homeless in the house I live, the hands that give. I ignore as soon as I lock the door. I can't take this pain anymore. Homeless knowing what's next, but still anticipate and appreciate today. Pain built up inside my chest, a breath decay. Homeless in the skin I'm in, I let it win and surrender. I put aside the grief inside of my mother's loss, once tender. Sorry. Homeless through the streets I'd walk, the shit you talk, still stained. The day and time we said goodbye, the scent of you remained. Homeless sister to brothers, reminding each other. Memories, years forgotten, no father there, now no mother. Homeless, numbness, feeling useless most times. Sick of going through the motion, sick of all these rhymes.
Thank you very much. I forgot to turn this on. So coming up next, we're gonna do this in order. So this is a brother who's been very, 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 important to the founder of Pawtucket Poetry. I was told he was there from the initial stage, and his name is Rizen. After Rizen, we have Salena, followed by Rene. So you can just come in that order. Put your hands together for Rizen.
Hi, everyone. So my name is Rizen. I have a book. I don't have any with me, but for you online, and I guess you here, you can go to thelifeablaze.com. It's my Instagram right here. Look at that. See, I can see that's cool. Anyway, is that.com. And buy my book. It's called Reflections. And this is a poem that I wrote in February of 2020, just shortly after the first time that we had Pawtucket Poetry first time. It's something that's coming back to me over the last 5 years. So I could feel the tug to freedom. I could see the cracks in the shell trapping me, but suddenly there is a tautness. I am flung backwards, thrown against the back of myself, shattering like glass, falling like snow. I'm scared, but I trust you. I'm excited, and I'm listening. You called me to more. You took my hand, put down what once was yours. But who am I if I do that? You're mine. I'm scared, but I trust you. I'm excited, and I'm listening. I tried to shake off the baggage, but every moment I moved closer to you, I was assaulted by remembrance, things I left in my bags, things I might need as I move forward. Each person, connection, place, event, memory reached out to pull me back. I'm scared, but I trust you. I'm excited, and I'm listening. I want to run to you. I know there is more to this life, but my heart needs changing. Contend with my desires, wrestle with my doubts and fears because I keep running away. I'm scared, but I trust you. I'm excited, and I'm listening. There's an unknown to where you're leading, but I know it's going to be painful. I know it's going to be challenging, and I know it is going to be worth it. I know you are going to be with me the whole time. I'm scared, but I trust you. I'm excited, and I'm listening. When I turn back and can feel my heart becoming salty within me, questioning your path, doubting your presence, may it not dry up the well within me. Let my refrain be the beat of my heart. I'm scared, but I trust you. I'm excited, and I'm listening. I'm ready. Let's go. Let the shell fall like snow as you lead me to new life. Thank you.
Salena next. Here you go.
Hi, everyone. So I'm Salena. I signed up to do this on a whim when I checked in about 10 minutes ago. I think my hands have stopped shaking. So I'm going to read a poem called Transubstantiation. Their fellowship begins over bread and wine. He clings to the prospect of her divine presence. She latches on to the promise of provision. treasure in a clutch of clay, fortune in folds of leather. He clings to the prospect of her divine presence. Her glory is deep V, halter neck, crushed velvet. Treasure in a red carpet room, fortune from folds of leather. He came prepared to consecrate himself to her. Her glory is deep V, halter neck, crushed velvet. First song, a sacrament of admission, a sprinkle of salvation. She is prepared to consecrate herself to him, to offer the body and the blood in the name of her Holy Spirit. Last song, a ritual to be observed, a blessing to receive. It is she who has the power to raise the Father and the Son from their seats, to offer the body and the blood, but never her Holy Spirit, to turn bread and wine into a sacred meal, a lap dance into the Eucharist.
Okay, thank you very much. So closing off the open mic, we're gonna have Rene. And then we go for a 5-minute break, then we go straight on to the features. Thank you very much.
I'm no pro, so bear with me. All right, what's up, everybody? My name is Rene. I like to do this thing where you guys are with me as I'm up here. So if you're with me, can I get a ooh? If you're with me, can I get a Yeah, now we're all one, we're all up here. All right, so I have this poem, it's called What is Love? I've never really given context to it, but I've read it a couple times. And it came from just trying to figure out what it is. I feel like I felt it, but never really had the words to describe it. And I don't know if anybody's ever felt that way before, but if you have, we'll get into it. What is love? You asked me if I love you, and it scared me, bringing my mind to a place it hasn't been in a while. My eyes lock onto yours. You've never actually seen me like this, but this is the most bare and naked we could be while dressed in full. What is love? The internet says, love is pleasure meeting satisfaction. Love is a cycle fiending for connection. Love is where lives and souls intertwine. Love is kindness, compassion, affection, vanity, selfishness, egotism, hunger, thirst, sleep, sex drive, lust, attraction, attachment. You asked me if I love you. What is love? My heart says love is trusting a new barbershop to not mess up your hairline. Love is washing the dishes by hand, even though you could just throw them in the dishwasher. Love is buying fast food immediately after grocery shopping, which took you 3 hours to budget for, by the way. Love is washing their dirty laundry with yours. Love is a skincare routine. Love is choosing a movie to watch even when nobody will be paying attention. Love is the oldest piece of clothing in your closet. You know the one. Love is language even with the barriers. Love is donating your warm body to their cold feet. Love is saying, I prefer to sleep on the right side of the bed, knowing that means you both will now be sleeping on the right side of the bed. Love was introduced to me as all of these things. So what am I really scared of? I'm scared of the value conviction holds in your eyes, love. The beliefs we share between love and withdrawal, where both assemble me into the addict I always knew I was. Grief is just the price I'm willing to pay for it now. Just to feel a little love again. Thank you.
Yeah, so we're going for a 5-minute break real quick. Okay. So we are back at it. We decided we want to start at 7:05. So coming up in order, we're gonna have Mel performing first. You can do your 15 or less. If you have 15 minutes time, each of you got. that, and then we'll have Jillian, Sandy, then we go for another break, and then we close off with Monica, then Maddie. Lori will do our closing remarks afterwards, and then after all those performances, I've got my friend over there, Kirk. He's working on a documentary with creatives in Rhode Island, so he will be doing some filming. If anyone would not want to be filmed, you can just indicate, but he's just doing some B-rolls and capturing the moments. So, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Mel.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm Mel. I wanted to start by thanking Laurie for giving me this opportunity. I was a little nervous about it, but I'm like, you know what? Life is too short. You gotta do it. And then I feel honored to be here with the other features as well. So thank you so much. I also wanted to give a shout out to my cousin who just turned 50. So it's the big 50. Her name is Laura. I also wrote a poem years ago for her that I'll be reading from my books, for my little journal. It's not book. I don't have a book yet, but that's the goal eventually. So I have 2 poems that I memorized, and it's taken me years to memorize them. They're not that long, so just kind of tells you where I'm at. So this one is called Artistic Soul. I think men long for an artistic soul, a woman who paints her emotions onto canvas like men put their emotions into their work or their play. They look into her eyes and see wonder at every conversation. Are they feeling the juices that flow from her thoughts? I think they are. I think men long for an artistic soul. The way she walks with confidence in her difference is vague to other women, yet she continues to swim in the oceans of love, swim in the oceans of life, and swim in the oceans of dreams. I think men long for an artistic soul. And the next one, I wrote it like years ago, and it's about finding my people at an open mic show. But I really feel like now that I've been involved with Pawtucket Poetry, that this is really the poem that that signifies like the depth of finding my people at an open mic show. So it starts off with, last night I found my people at an open mic show, expressing, creating, and freeing themselves from the tight grip of life. Last night, I found my people at an open mic show. They embraced me and they embraced my words. They assisted in my quest for reading, my quest to be freed. Last night, I found my people at an open mic show. I will never be the same. I will find my people again. I will go to many places to feel that high again. Last night, I found my people at an open mic show. So this is something new that I wrote. I haven't memorized yet. It's probably going to take me a few years. But it's something new, and it was inspired by conversation pieces. And so that's what it's called. I love conversation pieces. It could be her pretty wooden earrings or his bow tie made of kente cloth. It could be the lamp sitting on your desk or the wreath hanging on your door to say welcome. I love conversation pieces. Like your water bottle or your vintage brooch. What about those dishes and the flower detail on them? The turquoise necklace that caught my eye. Oh, and the tattoos I've conversed about. So many. Why did you get that one? I love conversation pieces. The t-shirts with messages, pictures, and movements documented on them. Your body piercings, so wild. I love conversation pieces. Those shoes, the boots, the sandals. All the things my eyes have seen and complimented, leading to conversations about who you are and who I am. I love conversation pieces. Let's see. So this is another one that I wrote. I kind of been inspired lately. I wrote it recently, and it's called "I'm Not Your Average." I'm not your average, regular, typical, normal, common, usual, standard, or an ordinary woman. So when they look at me or stare at me, I already know that I struck a chord. Her hair is so short and the grays are everywhere. She wears jewelry of wood and shares her poetry with strangers. Yeah, I'm not your average, regular, typical, normal, common, usual, standard, or an ordinary woman. And I don't want to be. And I don't ever plan on being that. I like standing out and I like being me. Ask me about who I am and I'll tell you. Do not assume that I'm this or that I'm that. I will never fit in a mold or be controlled. I am unique, sleek, and me for all to see. I'm not your average, regular, typical, normal, common, usual, standard, or an ordinary woman. And then I have one last poem, and it's was written a while ago for my cousin Laura. All right, and let's see if I bookmark this. All right, so Laura's 50 on Thursday. And it goes like this. Laura, a woman with intelligence and inner strength to conquer the world and barriers brought forth by our very existence as women. Laura, meaning laurel, a Mediterranean evergreen tree whose leaves were made into crowns to honor poets, heroes, and victors. What a suitable name her parents chose for her. L is for her laughter, so filled with energy. It captures the attention of a person who is feeling down. It brings a smile to their face. Many a smile and positive thoughts come from meeting Laura. She takes her time to pick her pretty shoes, clothes, and pretty accessories. Her style is to die for, the taste of a queen. Her hair is shiny and her curls tightly cling to her head as if to say they love being there near their earth, her powerful brain. Anyone who gets the chance to meet Laura, to be in Laura's presence, will never be the same. They will crave her attention and company until their days end. Laura. Oh. So thank you everybody for the opportunity again. And on to the next teacher. You made her cry. Laura commented, you made me cry. Oh. Let me take this. So sweet.
Hi, my name is Jillian. Oh my goodness. I'm okay. I told Maddie that I was gonna fall, so that was that. So this is actually my 1-year anniversary of being a part of Pawtucket Poetry. I found Pawtucket Poetry at the last anniversary event, and I'm happy to be back for like this full circle moment. So thank you, Lori and Craig.
Good to have you.
Oh, thank you. All right, I'm gonna get started with the first poem that I read at Pawtucket Poetry. None of my poems really have titles, so I'm just gonna go for it. The world falls apart and I stopped to write the feeling of sticking my tongue out to catch rain in my mouth, but tasting ash, only ash that burns holes through the muscle like a lit cigarette on my skin that one time. It was only one time. It melts my mouth to taffy, and I cannot scream loud enough, but I can write. So I write what it feels like to succumb. I am not the world, but no one else in it deserves this pain, and no, I will not burden them with it. So I must be the only one that feels this feeling. Oh, but if I write, then the girl in the poem feels it too, and I'm no longer alone. The world fills with love. It must because it spills from my eyes. The butterflies break free from my chest, flap their wings, and the whole world feels the effect. It must because I am one with it. Love bestows power on me, and I hold all of it in my open palms and offer it to you because it's yours too. Take it. It is pure, and we are untouchable. And finally, I stopped to write the feeling of cosmic energy vibrating every atom within and around me, so I never forget that life is a privilege and this heart is a gift, and you never doubt that my love is not fabricated and cannot be destroyed. The world is quick and quiet, loud and slow, and I cannot stop the poetry that writes itself, so I don't stop and I don't write. I hear the words as I live, and I wish I could pen them in the margins of a book, any book, but to take my eyes away from a moment would erase it, and the ink would dissolve on my tongue. My life is a poem, all feelings and some photographs and dreams indistinguishable from memories, and the words are a collaboration of mine and the world's. We write as I live, and I cannot pen it all, so I live and hope that the poem finds its way, anyway, to you. Thank you. I don't want to write about this. I don't want to write at all. The words find me at night when it weighs heavy on my chest. They circle and rise like bubbles out of reach. And when they pop, I feel nothing. Indifference paralyzes me as the colors succumb to darkness, but the words, they keep coming. Trying to scream, but they can't make themselves felt. Don't shred the back of my throat. They find me when the passage of time is indiscernible. Shadows on yellow walls don't shift. Leaves on the trees outside my window bristle endlessly. That cat, the cat jumps from the windowsill, stalks to the water dish and drinks. The words circle the drain of my mind and I stare. If the words are worth writing, they will come to me again, tomorrow, or the next day, or some far off imaginary day when I'll want to write again. I tell myself this lie every night as I let the words slip away with my consciousness. I don't have anything worth saying, nothing that will make any difference, nothing that will change your mind or make you listen. I think I've been crying in my sleep. Lately, I wake up with my eyes glued shut. Muck coats my temples and my hair. You're never there in my dreams. Thank you. She asks for you and you pretend not to hear as you dim the lights and mute the microphone. Take her now and every day of this year, plug your earbuds into a head that's hollow. Lay me down, no one needs to know that I'm your secret hidden in your pocket. Wherever you go, I have no choice but to follow. A ghost in your shadow, a skeleton in your closet.
Nice, nice.
Dear Redacted, everyone in this bar is on drugs. He's on coke. She's on Molly. He stops me to ask what school I went to, when I graduated, if I'm from around here, and his eyes bear into mine, uncomfortably black and unblinking. I slip away to the patio. Where have you gone? She stops me to tell me I look like a celebrity from the 90s. She can't put her finger on which. Her hand on my arm as we pass each other, her eyes dark and reflecting stars. I can see it in her gaze, feel it all around me, intoxicating emotion, the warmth of flesh pressing and pulsing. Pitchers of water and empty cups sit on the bar by the door. But where will they all go when the bar closes? I don't understand it. They're all standing out on the street at 1 a.m. with nowhere to go. I wonder if this is the kind of place you'd like, playing pool or standing in a sea of people on the patio. No one cares. No one wears sunglasses. I don't know whether or not you would, and I realize I don't really know much about you. I'm unsure if I ever did. Everyone in this bar is on Molly, and I wish you were here. Maybe you'd like it if we played pool and drank beers, If we held each other in the street, maybe you'd feel normal. Maybe I'd feel normal too. But the thing is, I don't need that stuff. I don't need that stuff to love you. But I miss you. Maybe I could let it all slide one last time just to be loved by you again. But I can't. I can't revolve my life around you. I'm sober in this club. Everyone is dancing except one man standing in the back of the room, texting someone who isn't here, and I think of you. I drive home alone from the airport, and I think of you. A plane flies west, and I think of you. Football is on, and I think of you. It's June for the 7th year in a row, and I think of you. I go to McDonald's, ask for a fucking cup of ranch, and I think of you. It's 10 p.m. on a Saturday night. I'm looking at the moon. Are you looking too? You visit my dreams, pulling forgotten pieces of me from your pocket like loose change, and confessing to me all of your regrets. But I can't answer you. I can't ease your burdens. I can't lose myself to you now. I have a niece now. She is the most perfect creature to ever be conceived and born on this earth. This love I have for her, it's both terrifying and tender. She sleeps in my arms, breathes so silently, minutely, and I can't take my eyes off her for fear that in a single second it will end. Nothing she does will make me not love her. Anything she does cannot possibly make me love her more. And a place where something was missing, she has filled it with fresh, fragrant dirt and planted something new. Chunks of my heart that were chewed up and spit out feed plump and juicy worms. They wriggle happily, and the new thing grows, the earth turns. She is the center of my universe. And I realize that I need to be here for me so that I can be me for her. And so I'll be here. But you're here with me too. I can't help it. You've always been my muse. And I can never cross that bridge between us again. The water beneath is too deep and swells too quickly. But if I do, could I call you?
Thank you.
Thank you. How am I doing on time? Good.
You're good.
Okay. Okay. My fire no longer burns, though trees and underbrush. Excuse me, I'm going to start that over. My fire no longer burns, though trees and underbrush burn plenty, and my skin burns on scorching November days, and the moon burns too large and orange, just like her morning relief, the sun burns as always. You there, running barefoot in the grass, lashes rested upon your strained cheeks, yet I detect a twinkle in your eye. How do you stay warm from the inside? What do you know that I do not? Is the world saved? All right, this one is a little bit different. This is a haiku for my dear friend Levi. Your eyes are as blue as the deep ocean in which the dead man rotted. That's a little inside joke. Okay, here's a newer one. There must be something in the water, something new, something I've never noticed before, that beckons me on slow, mild mornings, forces itself through ground beans, makes metal nearly molten, makes coffee full-bodied, fragrant, forces me from old bed sheets. Something that lures me through light rain and cool sand to a suspiciously still surface only timid toes disturb. That reminds me, fear of being uncomfortable is paralyzing, but pain is only temporary. So when I finally submerge myself fully, I am rewarded with a gentle current, lulling me ever so sweetly to sea. And when I emerge reluctantly, wind laps at my hair playfully, the sun kisses me brightly, and, for the first time, the day is precious and young. There must be something in the water that confidently whispers to me it will stay agreeable in the next season or two, like August rainwater collected in an old clawfoot tub. Probably. If not, I'm invited to where it falls from the tap, only the leftmost faucet twisted to its limit, where it agitates my blood, brings it to a rolling boil under my skin, where it comforts me even when rain or snow are falling over me too. There must be something in the water that rouses wavelets from still and staleness and turns it to nectar, thick and sticky with sugar. It spills from the corners of my lips, drips from my chin, my fingers. Sweet enough for monarchs and dragonflies, sweet enough to kiss. There must be something in the water that is powerful and terrifying because I'm no longer afraid of drowning. If, while floating, a wave crashes and cracks my bones and pulls me to where toes no longer trod, children and artists will delight in the crabs that indulge in my decay, and herons and kingfishers and gulls will be ever nourished by me, and I will find peace in participating in such rituals, meditations, and meals. There must be something in the water, something I've never noticed before, something that makes me feel like myself, tanned and freckled and giggling, that tempts me with big puddles by dirty calloused feet, is silent and slow and sweet and asks absolutely nothing of me. Oh, there's something in the water, something. There must be. I've got a couple more for you. Okay. A little spider, oh my goodness. Start that over again. Okay, a little spider falls beside my ear and whispers in it words I fear. I'll have to do it all my own. He squishes her, legs twitch, red on white brick, and attempt to save his damsel. He disconnects the alarm clock, says he'll fix it. We make love on the floor. I make the bed. I reprogram the clock to scream again tomorrow. 2 weeks of laundry done once. Once he throws in his work shoes. Twice now that everything smells of feet. Hot dogs standing bare in stained canvas from 7 a.m. till 3, 2 days a week. How dull it must be to wait on others, then come home and wait to be waited on. What's for dinner, my love? Are you satisfied not eating at all? Oh, what kind of mother would I be? I'll be home by 10 and bake us a chicken and place your shoes by the door and write you a poem or hold you to bed. Finally, I'll rest and be roused by lovemaking, and once he's done, I'll take care of him and me too, while I clean and fall back into bed and think about dying. I'm too young to pass quietly tonight. I'll schedule it for tomorrow between classes, and no, we're meeting his mother for dinner. It'll have to wait. How would I do it anyway? The last time a man left me to ponder, I drove myself to the hospital instead of over the bridge. That damn muscle memory. Would you do me a favor, dear? Next time you make love to me, kiss me feverishly against the pulse of my neck, bite down where it lifts to meet your mouth, and tear it from my flesh. Or crack my skull against that red brick. Oh, whatever it is, just do something as long as it holds. But I fear I'll have to do it on my own. If I ask, he'd just forget, and knowing him, I'd have to clean up too. Yeah. Okay. I believe no. Okay, 2 more. I'm supposed to be good on time.
Yeah, the poem already signed, that's it.
Okay. Thank you. He looks to me for answers. His gaze is so desperate, questions spilling from his tongue, he can't help it. He thinks I have them all. He was there, he watched my fall, took pleasure in it as I called. Baby, come, I want you to come. Won't you come help me? And he came, draining and filling, and draining again. I had hope and he quelled it, rolled it, smoked it, and stomped it out. Left the blood and ash and cum, left me empty. Disappointed that I had no more to give, he left me, and that was it for a while. I think I make him feel smart. He asks me about films and books and art. That's what he fills himself with. He figures that's how I must have done it, but he doesn't feel what I feel. I've been filled to the brim. I've never been like this, and he's envious I've cracked the code to happiness. He thinks I have the answers to why he feels so empty, but answers don't interest him, not really. He just wants to be full of something different. He knows I have it. He'll drain me till he's high on it, and I'm dry of it. He'll tell me I'm tripping with his hands outstretched behind me, and I'll climb again till I'm full again, till I'm back at his feet, his eyes looking to me, baring his teeth, desperate and hungry for answers. Okay, this is my last one. Thank you. A distant song plays muffled amidst thick fog, and though I can't quite put my finger on which, it calls me out from under this homestead log. And as I move, I listen for the bumbling finch that the garden woman up the path feeds, but the dampened dirt conceals me well, and through trees the sun guides me east. Now with the song there's a pleasant smell of petrichor summoning me forward, or perhaps roses that the garden woman grows. Either way, it beckons me homeward, not to the log back away that I stow. In the garden where I turn dirt for her flora, she welcomes me and hums while we plow. Thank you so much, girl. Really, thank you again for having me, and to Sandy. Yes.
Hi, I'm Sandy. This is awesome. My goodness. I'm so excited to be here, and it's a gift to be here tonight to celebrate Lori and the power of sharing poetry. So I'll be reading 6 poems tonight, and they'll be on the themes of motherhood, loss, renewal, aging, and hope. And sometimes they'll interweave because that's how my psyche works. So you just have to bear with that. 3 of these were published in some collections, so I need to get a shout out to Anomaly Poetry and Small Gems Press. They're in these poetry collections here. Thank you to them. That's all within the last year. First one is called Real Estate. My little one with hungry eyes, always wanting to be fed faster than lightning. Urgency in every cell. Nerve branches reaching a multitude of trajectories simultaneously. Your glorious heart racing beyond the stars. How to keep up with the fast twitch muscles in your little body, the endless curves of gray matter in your brain. Child, I molded the contours of my love around your growing appetite to mitigate an onslaught of inevitable disappointments. Shield sharp rays of sunlight from your eyes. Soften irritants to your skin. Filter screeches from your eardrums so they would beat their own rhythms. Lullabied you to healing sleep, despite your heroic efforts to remain awake every moment in search of constant mastery over universal entropy, a force that shatters objects and people alike. I promised to hold you when you cried an earthquake, when the world impinged all at once upon your heavenly psyche, knitting your bones, threatening tender dreams of a grand and cushioned bed, soft as velvet petals, firm as a honed lap from which to order your chaos. Now a man, I seem so small as you embrace your hunger. Tell me with all the love held upon broad shoulders, sewn into each calf, each bicep, strong and proud, that it is good to be a bit starving. Keeps you shooting stars across space, aimed at great discoveries, in search of meanings layered like cake, never yielding to mediocrity, becoming the creator of elegant patterns that will nest upon one another in eventual harmony and peace. Then you will clear the clutter, control the chaos, rest in the comfort of the bed you have made, own the home of your dreams. The next poem is titled Message for My Sons. When I am too frail to hold you, arms weary, eyes clouded, I will see you, loud as sun penetrates blue winter skies. When my ears conduct mere whispers, I will hear your thunderous voices rise in my spine, harmonious chords singing salty tears of an ocean's mouth pressed to my lips. What is love but the stroking of my skin by your poetic tongues, filled with pain and promise, poised on a runway readied for flight? Don't be afraid to fan your precious feathers when my body weakens. My soul will soar the wind with you, chime on covered porches, shimmer as diamond reflections upon a late afternoon bay. What is life but the interchange of parts with one another, a series of empathic waves that wash through our ephemeral frames? My last breaths will remain as particles in air that dance through every space you occupy, glide as translucent jellies in deep seawater where lungs are not needed to survive. Jeweled stones on shifting shores will make their way into your welcoming palms. Childhood hands within your grown men grips will skip them across gentle waves, magic their ripples of impact. When my physicality is gone, you will converse with me through the steam of breath on winter mornings. Find my wisdom in the softened earth that cups your feet, my voice in the rhythm of spring rain, my heartbeat as it sails the river of your bloodstreams. Next, I'm going to read a poem about Rosh Hashanah, which is the Jewish New Year, and it always occurs in the fall. And it's a period of reflection, atonement, and renewal. It's heralded by a blast of the shofar, traditionally instrument that's crafted from a ram's horn. Awaiting Rosh Hashanah, summer's end slips onto our porch, renewing her promise of a golden harvest, mounds of mums, warm wicker chairs. There was a time in our family when autumn brought obstinate sorrow, mountains on fire, a father snatched away, a mother submerged in rot. Even blistering joy, our niece's September birth, became a burning heart, a bullet shot into a sunflower's core, anticipating the shofar blast beyond, a shriek in the dark skies of our genocides. This morning, the crisp air is kind. Peace dwells within my porch, a sanctuary, a blessing unfolding its plumage. We witness the ram's horns on our mantle, crafted by once small hands, to be lifted, chosen again. Time dances between breaths. We open our insides to the wild wind, to each other, to the hidden constellations that hold us together for yet another chance. Thank you. My next poem is about aging. It's a brand new poem. It's still in progress. This is the first time I'm reading it to anyone. It's called Wail of the Baby Loon. Let me tell you about aging. We stretch like rubber bands pulled to their limits, then snap. Last week, I saw an old friend in Pawtucket Village. She told me her husband died unexpectedly 2 months ago. A cancer ate his brain. Her grief, an unending cargo train refusing to stop, carrying her hard-earned memories down endless tracks. Last year, I lost my friend, consumed by her own bloated bowels, a dancer who tried to choreograph her life. I see her slender body, a scarf waving in the wind, disappearing in gray fog. Envision my place in this devilish queue, mourn the loss of myself before I'm gone. Everyone asks me, how is retirement going? I tell them, I haven't awoken one single morning wondering what I will do today. I'm busy beating my life as a precious necklace of pearls, lustrous orbs strung together one at a time, the length of eternity. I've taken up adolescence again. Each new discovery, a ball of fire igniting my sternum, insecurities that open like sinkholes I rescue myself from. My world, a sea of questions. The paradox of existence, a set of laser beams shot into the pupils of my eyes. I am getting younger. A baby moon arises in my lungs, emits an urgent, hungry wail. I'm about to jump out of this nest, eager and afraid. My wings are ready to flare, ready to fly me to new destinations. Beak forward, pointing towards the sun, biting the blinding air. Now I'll read a poem that takes the form of a contrapuntal. If you don't know what that is, be happy to talk with you about it afterwards, or if you're tuning in, you can DM me on Instagram and I'll tell you about it. It is called Closing an Era. Tomorrow, I say goodbye to my therapist of many years. We will meet at a pastry shop without her familiar ergonomic chair, reclining, reaching through time for words to embody familiar nuanced notes of care. Spaces unexplored, the sticky residue of grief seen and unseen, flickering in daylight reminders of what was and will become. She is old now, has retired her office, a small, quaint place an hour's drive north of me. As I squint in the sunlight of an autumn afternoon, the spirit in my lap unsettled, spreading its fingers, imprints on this last inking of designs we've created, wanting more than my gratitude, permeating each pause, the ghost who stroked my beating skin softly as we travel together beyond, our breaths exchanged across decades. Tomorrow, I say goodbye to my therapist of many years. She is old now, has retired her office. We will meet at a pastry shop, a small, quaint place an hour's drive north of me, without her familiar ergonomic chair, reclining as I squint in the sunlight of an autumn afternoon, reaching through time for words to embody the spirit in my lap, unsettled, spreading its fingers, familiar nuanced notes of care, imprints on this last inking of designs we've created, spaces unexplored, wanting more than my gratitude, permeating each pause, the sticky residue of grief, the ghosts who stroke my beating skin, seen and unseen, flickering in daylight softly as we travel together, beyond reminders of what was and will become, our breaths exchanged across decades. My final poem is short and hopefully ends on a note of hope. It is called Promise. If I could live in the arc of a rainbow, my consciousness ensconced in droplets, existing as mist arched over the horizon, tears of gladness and grief, drowning terror, cleansing human nature. I would live in color as a transient event, disintegrate in gray, grain sky, disseminate fragments of hope, disguised as they settle upon the earth, upon people I love, multitudes I do not know, vibrate as a web of breath, threading an invisible gossamer veil, colored silken by beams of sun rays, reveal a majestic promise engraved in invisible ink. Thank you, girls, and thank you all so much for listening, and for everyone attending here and everyone tuning in, and a special thanks to Lori Kirkland for holding such sacred space for so many poets, and to Craig Kirkland for organizing this event, and for being so gracious as to invite me to share my poem.
Going for it. 10 minutes break real quick. But in the meantime, if you guys want to go take pictures by the, or you want to wait till it's over, it doesn't matter. Or you can go grab Lori's book. She got some books on there. Or you can just interact.
Mother, why did you send me off to America? The question I asked. Her reply was, try your challenge and go find a new start. She never liked to get a life and she want me to get a better life. Jamaica crime rate escalate, everyday death arise. Make a choice, migrate and get a wife. Me link my Uncle Barry for some money. Him say, CT, I go set it right. Make everybody nice. Michelle bought me my ticket the next day me get a flight. Why did you send me off to America at a time so cold? I've come to realize all that glitter isn't gold. Not everybody kind as I encountered harsh times. Tears stream down my face as I write these lines in these poems. Me love me picnic them bad and me see my kids smile. Progression on my mind, the Rocky Mountains I still climb, but give God thanks for life, precisely I'm still fine. I miss Jamaica badly, the warm Caribbean sunshine. It's not like I can't survive in the US, enough opportunities here, but I will not be fooled, racism is still here, plus people dying everywhere. I miss my good old Jamaican foods, GMO, waste of time, traveling state to state, great, but I'm not in the right state of mind. I can't meditate great if I don't have a space of mind, so I read words of wisdom, so nonsense not penetrate my mind. Why am I going to send me off to America? The more problem evolve. This woman pretending to be authentic, I find out that she's a real fraud.
Wait, Amaziah, what happened to the relationship between you and Sarah?
Whoa, that's another story. You see, it's like this. Brought these for you.
Thank you so much.
Oh, yes, and I'm so happy to see you.
Honey, did you send the money?
Yeah, I sent about 10 grand to your cash app.
I like your big muscles.
Oh, thanks. I'm working out 24/7.
I can tell.
She was just a lying money grabber because after I sent her the funds, she never had time for me ever again. Plus, I heard she had some other lovers.
Hello? Hi, Craig. I'm with my mom, so I really can't talk right now. I'm gonna have to call you back later.
What did I do to deserve all this? I was attacked, beaten, then left for dead. I have strong feelings that she had a lot to do with all this.
So when was the last time you spoke with your mother, your kids?
My son, tell me please. Answer your phone. When are you coming back to Jamaica? We need to see you. We need money. only for survival.
Mama, don't cry. I'm gonna make this work. Never stop praying for us even when experiencing the worst. I am here fighting tough days, Mom, inside hurts, but don't cry. Even though tears in my eyes, I'm crying out to God as if I'm inside a church. Listen to this. I will not quit, even if I have to keep crawling out the dirt. Don't cry. They're there in Jamaica thinking overseas is a land of glittery diamonds and gold.
Hey Dad, how are you doing? It's been a while I haven't heard from you. I'm just calling to let you know that your mother is not treating us nicely.
Who's that? Dad? Hey Dad, I was just wondering if you could send me a PlayStation and some new Jordans, but I wanted to ask you also if Nash or you could use your card and buy me some CP and Call of Duty Mobile. Please, love you, thank you.
Many people depending on me. I have to emerge. I swear to God, I'm gonna break this generation out of curse. No.
You are an amazing poet. You are so inspiring. There's someone I'd like you to meet.
I don't think I can. I don't think I want to meet nobody.
Trust me. You have to meet this planner. Her name is Trish Goldfish. Her mom runs an event called Pawtucket Poetry. You have to go there.
You're not understanding. You can't feel what I'm going through. I'm totally done with this poetry thing. Oh, yeah.
Are you Messiah the Great?
What?
I'm one of your biggest fans, and I watch you on social media, and I follow all of your live performances, and I can't wait to buy your book, Don't Cry.
And I'm a fool, one. Talking to the wrong guy. I don't know who's Messiah. Stupid fan not working. Whoa. It's hot.
There is a great mission, my Lord.
Yeah.
Don't stray and keep inspiring the world with thy great talent. Blessed Lord.
Give thanks.
His Majesty, Lord Rastafari.
Give thanks for the rescue.
Yes,
Give
my
thanks
Lord.
for the medication.
Yes, my Lord.
It made me all a firm meditation. Blessings and respect.
His Majesty, Lord, and
the journey continue.
Every
you know,
time.
We never stop.
Every time.
Greatness.
Every time.
Started writing again and taking long walks. Familiar feelings.
Malachi, the other day I was going through some issues, and I'm sorry. But for you, I got something special. You say you always wanted to get a copy of this. Here goes. This is for you. Malachi, I want my children to know me as one that is great. Education is essential, time mustn't wait. For the power of knowledge, there's no limit to what you can create. You'll encounter hurdles in life, even frightening earthquakes, but never stop, aim higher and escalate. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are now ready for the second half of the features. Coming up next will be Monica D. Vance. And the closing of that segment will be Maddie. And then, of course, the lady of the moment, Laurie Kirkland. Mrs. Laurie Kirkland, for that matter. And I'll be doing a special performance after everything for my friend Kirk there, who's making the documentary. So next up, welcome, Monica D. Vance.
If you follow me on Instagram, you'll get this. Hey, y'all, hey! So it's an honor to be here. Thank you so much to Lori and to Craig. Thank you so much for this. And I'm honored to be amongst these fabulous women poets. Y'all, you guys know how to use your words. And I'm also thankful for just my connection to my spiritual family. I have some friends in the room who are my spiritual siblings. So
my spiritual parents, who I hope are watching, just thank you. This poem is called Self Must Meet You, and it's a poem about, so my faith is really important to me. It's a poem about my relationship with God and my desire to be married and waiting and waiting and waiting for that special person to find me. And it hasn't happened yet, but knowing that God always has to be the priority. So this is called Self Must Meet You. There's a little bit of a singing portion to it. You are, you are, you are, you are my heart's desire, my living hope, the cornerstone. You are, you are, you are, you are my heart's desire, my living hope, the cornerstone. Lord, the hardest prayers expose frailty. Feelings cannot remain in a mode. I tell you, if this thing is going to take your place, then I don't want it. The pursuit of healthy ambition becomes a dive into shallowness. My emotions weather, and attitude turns bitter. Heartache leads to intense examination of myself. Ambition creates a host of imaginings. I see the white gown, birdcage veil over my face, sunflowers in my hands. This is happiness. Life so inviting. But Lord, you ruffle my senses. You command me to swim in deep water. Ambition still roars. Envy travels with him. Deception strives to be my guide. Solitude stands at the shore. I'm reminded to be steady. Restlessness must meet faith. My efforts are futile. Self must meet you. Your water yields treasures, both clear and unseen. I decide to endure, to continue to swim. You are my everything, and you are my strength and weakness, and you are eternity. You are my refuge, you are my rest, you are my refuge, you are my rest. Thank you. And this poem is called Create Now Creative. I'm dedicating this poem to all of y'all who know how to use words, connect words together, and pour your lives into your words. Create now creative. Create now creative. Dream now dreamer. Sing now singer. Write now writer. You sat with blame and shame. You've eaten dinner with imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is a fancy phrase for fear. Fear of being seen as brilliant and fear of being seen as fragile. But show your art now. If you delay its showing, you may lock it away in a basement. You may shove your poem, your song, your dance, and the depths of your belly. Release now, artist. Release now, creative. Release now, songbird. Release now. Your world needs to hear your revelations. Your thoughts aren't useless. Your perspective isn't idiotic. Your mind isn't scrambled. I know that you have wondered, am I crazy? Am I flaky? Am I worthy to create art? You listen to the critics who aren't creatives, but bystanders and even murderers of art. They've misunderstood your brightness and your boldness. They've insulted your dreams. They've never witnessed someone like you in their surroundings. You remind them of their inadequacies. You brighten up the darkness that they like to live in. But you can bloom now. You can escape the soils of doubt and self-hatred now. Dream now, dreamer. Sing now, singer. Write now, writer. Create now, creative. This poem is called Daddy's Girl, and 4 years ago, my daddy, my hero, my heart, he died, and it was basically the biggest heartbreak of my life. And so I finally this year got the courage to write him a tribute poem. It took me a while to get there. Hopefully I don't get weepy as I read this, but this is called Daddy's Girl. I didn't realize that he was one of my best friends until he died. I told him everything. I told him about things that probably shouldn't have mattered to an older man, but he listened to the whines of his daughter, who didn't understand quandaries such as, why didn't that guy text me back? Or why is work so stressful? But my dad would tell me, you have to crawl before you walk. When I stood in front of mountains, he celebrated my writing, and he told me to keep waiting for my future husband. My daddy was one of my first teachers of faith. On Sundays, I watched him with a hymnal in his hands. Sometimes he would request to sing Amazing Grace, and his gentleness changed to a trembling fire as the song jumped out of his mouth and towards God. My daddy would transform the kitchen into his own seminary. The Bible, a notebook, and a concordance surrounded him. The day my daddy died, my heart fell out of my body and onto the ground. My heart was twisted and stomped on. Work, friends, and church were distant, empty containers as my heart dragged itself through dust and weeds. The first birthday that I had without him, I laid on my bed. Tears were running throughout my body, pondering about the future. I could have taken a pillow to my face and disrupted my life. But God said no. My daddy, he was quiet, a quiet strength, and a witty sense of humor. We often watched reruns of Sanford and Son together. He made cornbread and collard greens. I smelled the flavors from the living room, and I knew I would gobble one of my favorite meals from him. When my daddy died, I could have stopped. I could have stopped being passionate about God. But God said, I have more for you. And as I entered God's more, my heart left the dust and the weeds and returned to my body. So for anyone who is wondering about,
We're all wondering about it.
keep going. I'm sorry, I thought you were pointing to.
No, I said one more.
Oh, one more? Okay. For anybody who is wondering about the red box, this is why. So I wrote this poem called Red Box about how sometimes we can put, or I can put God in a box, and when I put him in a box, I end up putting myself in a box. And so this is called Red Box. God, I put you in a red box last week. Actually, let me start again. God, I put you in a box last week. I put you in a red box with sparkles on it. I put you underneath my bed so that you're still close, but far enough that I don't have to confront your requirements or your affirmations. But when I put you in that box, I put myself in a box too. I put myself in a red one with a silver bow attached to it. And I hid underground, and I hid in a sewer. I decided that it's extremely risky to thrive, and it's abnormal to be the wild one in the stagnated rooms. But you didn't create me to function in a box, to dream underground, or to live in a sewer. You said, daughter, you are fearfully and wonderfully made, gifted and courageous. But there's an unrealistic insecurity, but there's a unrealistic security in the red box. I can pretend to have no talents or aspirations. I don't have to succumb to your frame, but the corners of the box are itchy. My skin becomes dry and bumpy. My thoughts become dull, and my heart is shrieking. I believed that the box would have supported me, but it has dismantled me instead. I took the red box from underneath my bed today, and I took you out of it. When I took you out of that box, I took myself out of a box too.
I've decided that I'm required to thrive. Thank you so much for listening to the words.
Hello, my name is Maddie. This is also my 1 year anniversary of coming to Pawtucket Poetry. I started coming last January, and it's kind of nice to be here full circle and be performing at the anniversary. So I wrote this one called Pawtucket Peony. This one I wrote specifically for Lori and the space that she's created for artists like us. Flowers grow and flowers bloom. That's what I see when I enter this room. A seed planted in dark that grows into light, a light that shines brighter than the moon at night. See, when I first met you, I felt rather blue until you spoke words of encouragement to me as only you could do. You spoke to me of love and what it meant to you, told me my soul was beautiful, and gave me some of your truth. You created a space, one that stands tall and full of grace, a place for artists to connect, one where strangers become friends. You speak with love and light, the lamp you hold outshines the darkness at night. The tears here flow, and the words are true. Pawtucket Poetry is a home for the old and the new. You did this on your own, filled a room with so much passion, allowed people to speak about their hearts in any type of fashion. A community brought together here to celebrate you. Pawtucket Peony, we all love you. This next one I wrote kind of through myself. So I titled this one To Love Me. To love me is to know that 9 out of 10 times when you ask me what I want for dinner, the answer will always be pasta. To love me is to know that I will sob every time a sad tale appears on the television, and I will weep and empathize with the characters on screen. To love me is to know that when you tell me about something you like, I will always go out of my way to ensure you receive that gift at one point or another. To love me is to know that I always put others' feelings before my own, which usually results in my own feelings being hurt. To love me is to know that I never take my jewelry off. I'm afraid if I do, that something drastic will happen and I will have no control. To love me is to know that when I tell you I love you, that I mean it with every fiber in my being, with every breath that I take, and every word that I speak. So when you chose to stop loving me, I decided to start loving myself. When you chose to stop loving me, I ordered my own pasta for dinner. When you chose to stop loving me, I continued to cry at the same old television episode that I've seen a million times before. When you chose to stop loving me, I started buying my own gifts, the things that I liked most, but I never bought because I wanted to see you smile more than I saw myself do. When you chose to stop loving me, I began putting my own emotions before others. I practiced affirmations in the mirror every day to remind me that I matter too. When you chose to stop loving me, I took my jewelry off when I showered to show myself it's okay to not always have control over life and its ups and downs. When you chose to stop loving me, I decided to tell myself that I loved me. I love me for who I am, for how deeply I love, and for how deeply I care. I love me for the wacky things that I do, my mundane routines, and for the way that I choose to live my life. I love me for me, and I realized slowly that you will never be able to take that away from me. You were lucky to receive my love, to have experienced all that I am, and to say that you were able to love somebody that is just as spectacular as me. For mine is a love that is rare. It speaks beauty and love in the darkest days. It brings happiness and hope to those who are suffering. It brings sunshine and warmth on a cold and rainy day. My love is a treasure, and I plan to treat it like it is, one day at a time. This next one is inspired by my friends at Pawtucket Poetry, who encouraged me to get out there and start dating myself. I sat in a room surrounded by the most beautiful poets who spoke love and light into my heart and helped me begin the process of turning my pain into power, my knowledge into wisdom, and my darkness into light. Date yourself. It was a phrase I wasn't familiar with, but but it sounded appealing to my torn and twisted soul. Date yourself. I woke up at 8 o'clock in the morning, grabbed a water bottle and a protein shake, threw a backpack in the trunk of my car and drove myself to the cliff walk, parked my car, and walked for miles. I admired the crashing waves that so much reminded me of how my brain had been sounding lately, and suddenly it was quiet. I stole a few flowers from somebody's garden and giggled as I ran away, sniffing them and running, hoping maybe I could get away. Date yourself. I washed my own hair in the shower, scrubbed the sweat and salt off my limbs, and picked out a nice dress, the one with the straps and then a pair of heels. I made a dinner reservation, just for one and not for two. I ordered a glass of wine and a salad, and God damn it, I ordered that entree for two. I sat in my own company, feeling rather red instead of blue. Love was starting to blossom, a love for me and not for you. I chatted with the waitress, an old woman with a set of baby blues. She told me I was beautiful, gave me the check, and spoke some truth. You have more courage than you believe, my dear. The pain will stop soon. I paid my tab and walked out smiling. I can't believe it's true. Date yourself and you will flourish. All the things you want, you can do. Washed my makeup off and climbed into bed, wrapped my journal in a pen, scribbled all these words down to compare the now and then. Date yourself. Take your power into your own hands. Fight the world and speak your truth. You only have one life, so ignite this fire and make it bright. The love inside you never died, you just didn't know how to fight. Fight for you and all your dreams. There is only you. So I started dating myself, and let me tell you, it's the best investment I ever made. To be me and love my company, a treasure well worth the wait. I titled this one Too Much. I just wrote this one a little more recently. Just kind of going through the waves of life and feeling, trying to find what love is, and why I feel like there's such a barrier, and feeling like myself particularly was the barrier, but that's not true. So maybe I am too much. Too much woman, too much heart, too much empathy, too many scars. Maybe the way I feel everyone's emotions is detrimental to my health. Maybe it's the way my heart captivates love and shreds at the sight of a child who is asking his mother for a hug. Maybe my thighs are too thick to fit in these scrubs, and maybe, just maybe, I won't be enough. Maybe the scars in my heart are too much to bear, and the wounds left by others are hard to pretend aren't there. Maybe my flaws are contradicting, the way I get mad and then blue. Maybe my hair is too thin, and it falls out over you. Maybe my eyes are too green, and my tears are too new. Maybe the lack of sleep I possess is on account of you. Maybe my words are painful when they hold too much truth. Maybe my nails are too short and I refuse to paint them too. Maybe my tattoos are random and it changes the view of who I am inside when people think that I'll be rude. But as I sit here and I stare at the woman looking back at me, I'm reminded of who she is inside, and she's a treasure worth the keep. The way I empathize with others makes me me and not you. My thighs are super thick, and if I wanted to, I could squish you. The scars on my heart tell a story that I loved harder than anyone who stood before me and judged. My eyes are green and not with envy, but filled with hope, and they shine like a gem in the night sky. My hair might be thin, but it's damn sure mighty. The strands that fall out are there to remind me. Remind me that I love with more than passion, a fire inside hotter than a bonfire. My lack of sleep isn't just because of you. A degree stands before me, and I will do my best to pursue. The words that I speak will always ring true. I have no reason to lie and withhold the truth. My nails are short because my work days are long. No color on them, and I don't care who looks on. My tattoos tell a story, one that some may never know, but they complete me and they make me feel stronger than anyone. I am more than enough because I am me and not you. I will always love myself. There's not a thing you can do. To be me is to be special and love my imperfections. It took a lot for me to become this woman, a woman who is full of pride. So stay true and be you, because it's all you can do. And at the end of the day, you will always have you. Am I good on time?
Is it 8:30 yet?
I have no idea. I don't know.
It's 8:20.
You have 7 months.
Perfect.
How much? 7?
Okay, so a little background on this. I currently work in hospice. I worked at Miriam Hospital for a few years. I was there throughout the pandemic. I dealt with a lot of death and dying, and not in a peaceful manner. So I made the switch to work at hospice right on North Main Street, and I'm hoping that when I get my nursing degree, I will stay there and become a nurse. So I wrote this one specifically about my job and what it means to me to be working in hospice. And I titled it Love for Strangers. I give all my love to strangers. I spend my 12-hour days holding the hands of those I have never met before. I comb their hair, I brush their teeth, I hold their hands, and I listen to their stories. I look at their photographs and see them for who they once were, who they used to be. I sit by their bedside and I sing them soft tunes, and hold them near as they make this transition. I never knew that my heart could hold so much love for those that I had never met, but I step into this place every day, sharing my heart and my soul with each and every single being that I meet. The greatest gift is being able to give, to love and to hold, to nurture and to cherish. Life is just so precious. So when you can't be there to hold their hand, I will always be here. I will be here singing a tune, stroking their hair, and leading them on into the light. They will never be alone so long as they are in my care. I wrote this one for my best friend, and I had titled it Bella Blues. She's been a really, really big help for me over the last few years, and specifically this year. So here it goes. I never really had a friend who could feel my emotions as intensely as her. She notices the color change in my eyes and the way my shoulders begin to droop. She knows exactly what to do when the world's weight is deafening and I cannot see the light that is shining through. She's the kind of friend whose door is always open, even at 1 or maybe even 2. She picks the pieces of my heart up and glues them back together when a boy shatters it in 2. We don't hug much, but for some reason when we do, everything around me stands still, and for a moment my future just doesn't seem so blue. She can see what I see in this life, and we navigate through the bullshit and the drama. She is always able to break through. Her heart is stronger than most, and she doesn't have to prove her affection. If you've got it, then you've got it, and that's all she can do. No human being can match her aura, her energy, or her soul. She is a one-of-a-kind person, a woman with a heart that is full of gold. To call her my best friend would be a lie. She's my other half in human form. Let me grow with you forever, my sea of shining stars. I am proud of you and I love you. No one can ever tear us apart. And although we aren't affectionate, and this is what we call dumb, you will always hold a piece of me tucked away inside your heart. Keep on going, keep on fighting. This world might not be ready for you, but I see the woman that you are, and you will always speak your truth. To be you is all that matters. Never let that part of you go. For in this life and perhaps the next, I will always watch you grow. Sorry. I just have 2 more. I wrote this one in March for Women's History Month, and I wrote this one just about what it means to be a woman to me. So I titled it To Be a Woman. To be a woman is to put the needs of others before yourself. To be a woman is to stand strong and be the glue that holds everybody else's shit together. To be a woman is to always stay presentable, nice clothes and fancy things. To be a woman is to fight back your tears and never show them you're weak. To be a woman is to always remain focused, but not focused enough where you ignore others. No, no, no. Just enough to keep yourself afloat. To be a woman is to fight for your rights, but if you fight too hard, they'll call you a feminist, a bitch, and maybe even a whore. To be a woman is to bear children, but never give them your last name, for that would be too powerful in the eyes of men. But to me, being a woman is so much more than that. To be a woman is to open your heart and your soul to all who appear before you. To be a woman is to lead with love, to spread love and joy to others, and to become the most powerful and beautiful being to walk the earth. It means to be a doctor, a teacher, or a poet. To be a woman is to allow yourself to feel, be vulnerable, and continue to keep your heart open to love. To be a woman is to have the strength to walk through fire, to forge new paths and follow your dreams. To be a woman is a powerful gift, and my God, do I love to be a woman. Yeah. This is my last poem. It was just kind of about ending my year. So my 2024 started real shitty for me. I'll just put it like that. I don't have better words than that. But it ended on a much more positive note, and I am starting 2025 here with people that matter and in a community where we are accepted, and this is a beautiful thing to be here doing this. So I named this one Goodbye Old, Hello New. Today I bid farewell. I bid farewell to the year that began in heartbreak, and I bid farewell to the year that ended in growth. This year I got to meet a newer version of myself, and I didn't realize just how strong she was until she had to be. It wasn't until I was picking the pieces of my own heart up off the floor that I recognized the woman standing before me. She extended a hand. She stood so tall and full of grace. She whispered words of endearment and encouragement into my spirit until I was able to stand on my own. This year, I learned who my real friends were. They were the people who left flowers at my door. They were the people who opened the door at 4. They were the people who laid a warm blanket over me when I fell asleep on the couch. They were the people who made me a hot cup of coffee even at 3 a.m. because they knew it would comfort me. They were the people who listened to my poems, no matter how sad, dark, or twisted they just seemed to be. They were the people who cheered when my exam grades came back as passing. They were the people who glued the pieces of my heart back together, even when they were not the ones to break it. And this year I learned about me. I learned that what I loved most that night was a hot cup of tea mixed with some honey and tree. I learned that I liked red wine and that it seemed to soothe me. I learned that I liked to go to the beach when my thoughts got too loud, even if it was just me. I learned that I could write a poem, maybe even 1 or 2 or 3. And I learned that it's okay to cry when people aren't who they pretend to be. I learned that hard work will break you down if you're trying to get a degree, but the work is well worth it. You just have to wait and you'll see. I learned that my heart can hold more love than I ever thought would be. And I learned that the pieces of myself weren't just a shell of me. So I bid this year farewell, even if at times it wasn't good to me. 2025 will be my year, and I'm claiming it to be. And thank you, Lori and Craig, especially for having me. It means so much. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. We will be going for a quick 2-minute break. Is it 5?
No, 2.
2 is good. And then the lady of the moment will be, saying something to you all, and then I'll be doing my piece afterwards. So going for a break real quick. So good. So I just gotta say maximum respect to all you wonderful people in the comment section on the YouTube, on the TikTok, LinkedIn, all over. So we'll be right back.
If I cease to seize this moment, I will dwell within lament. I will live with self-chastisement and feelings of regret. If I cease to seize this moment, all the plans inside my mind will begin to minimize and then be left behind. If I cease to seize this moment, then I will never know how the greatness I once sought could have been nurtured and well sown. And if I cease to seize this moment, I will never see the person that I always knew I had the power to be.
oceans, you know, and yeah, like, hello, hello. I feel like thank you all for coming here today. I wasn't going to share a poem. I shared this at the book launch. I figured if I'm trying to sell books, I should probably read a poem. So. No, they're so personal. Yeah, I don't mind publishing them and putting them out for the whole world to read at your own leisure on your couch and go, oh, did she say that? But for me to stand up here and read them, I thumb through the whole book and I can't do it. So I can read this one. I've read it before. It's called That August from my book, Tucked in Flowers, Hidden in Plain Sight. That August. My soul was tired of being alone, yet I embraced the solitude. Traveled alone, great adventures I did take. Memories of a lifetime I set out to make. Photos for the gram, documented for the record. Flowers to invoke my emotions displayed. Yet unseen, self-love is an intimate journey I willingly took. In doing so, I discovered a version of self I've never seen. A beautiful soul sent on a mission, discovered a new purpose-driven ambition. With pen and paintbrush by my side, creativity opened wide. My mind came alive and a desire to thrive. I'll always remember that August I came alive. So I know it's not the end, but I don't like doing this too much. So I personally want to say thank you, Mel, for coming out. Thank you for sharing all that poetry and your stories from the beginning and how important that we are as a family at Pawtucket Poetry. Jillian, thank you so much for telling your story about how you met us at 1 year ago at this event. And I'm full of goosebumps right now because that is a remarkable story. Thank you. Monica, same with you. You walked into Pawtucket Poetry a year ago-ish, and here you are, you know, featured on this event. And I appreciate you. And one of the things you said to me one day in Pawtucket Poetry, I really pride myself and all of us on creating a safe space. And that's where a lot of these stories and a lot of the stories that you guys have, we share because it's safe, it's small, it's just there. And one day I was consoling someone and I said, well, I'm no therapist, but something. And she said, I am a therapist and you're a therapist. So thank you. That means a lot to me that you saw me that way. I'll never forget it. Sandy, thank you so much for always coming consistently to Pawtucket Poetry. You have been someone I've looked up to. I've told you this at the book launch. You've been somebody I looked up to, somebody who inspires me. And for you to say yes to come here and be featured on this 5-year anniversary event means a lot to me. Thank you. And Madison, same thing. You already told the story. You came into Pawtucket Poetry. I don't remember how you found it, but you came. You've been coming consistently. It's been 1 year, so a bunch of you guys for 1 year. This 5-year anniversary is something completely different than the 4-year anniversary. So I really treasure all of you, and TikTok and Instagram and whatever that thing is over there. YouTube. All the people on YouTube, I've been watching your comments. I thank you. Armanda, you have a special place in my heart. She's not featured, but I have to say this. One day she drove by. Who remembers the sign? She pulled over the car and said, what's that? All it said was poetry. She said, what's that? And look at her. She's here now. She's supporting all of us. She's writing her books. She's doing her poetry. And she's part of us. And I appreciate that. And I appreciate everybody. Michael standing over there. He's been a part of us. Craig. How could I not mention Craig? Craig walked into Pawtucket Poetry in January, a couple Januaries ago, and look at where we are now. He's been tucked in my flowers for over a year.
I'm totally done with this poetry thing.
Amaziah the Great came to America from Jamaica to better his life. On his poetic voyage, he found Sarah. She never loved him, only wanted his money.
Honey, did you send the money?
She was also involved with other men. It was believed that one of Sarah's jealous boyfriends attacked Amaziah the Great while he went for a walk in the park, beating him almost dead.
Answer your phone!
Wise Warrior, a drummer in the hills, found him and gave him herbal medicine until he was well. Amaziah thought about forgetting about doing poetry.
I'm totally done with this poetry thing.
Till he was approached one day by a small boy, Malachi,
you
who
in
told
the
him
grade?
he was his biggest
I watch you
fan.
on social media and I
But the
follow
poet denied his
all of
identity.
your live performances, and I can't wait to buy your book, Don't Cry.
Talking to the wrong guy. I don't know who's Amaziah.
Amaziah further went for therapy, where he spoke with Panda. She listened to his poems and then recommended that he connect with planner Trish Gophers, whose mom operates a popular poetry event in Rhode Island called Pawtucket Poetry. Amaziah the Great later found back his courage to resume his poetic journey and continue to inspire Malachi and other people worldwide. The Jamaican Poet, written and directed by Craig A. Kirkland, a.k.a. Amaziah the Great.
Welcome, welcome. I decided I would show off my wife's brand because I want to tell an interesting story about this L and the K.
You designed
Yeah, I designed it.
it. It's beautiful.
Thank you, Sandy. So the L, as you know, is for Lori, and the K is for the Kirkland. And this is a book. And yeah, it was.
The pen.
This is my pen going in my book.
It's your pen.
Anyway, let me behave myself. I think my kids are watching. So, yeah. I gotta say maximum respect to Kirk taking the opportunity. He told me he saw me all over the internet, and I was wondering if I posted a lot, why so many people see me. And Lori said, yes, you did. So I post sometimes until sometimes it irritates people because they say, you said me this already, and I would say, the same way you hear the same songs over and over again. Well, anyway, let me just get into my performance real quick. And this one I'm going to do, it's called For Our Children to Know. I want my children to know me as one that is great. Education is essential, time mustn't waste. With the power of knowledge, there's no limit to what you can create. You'll encounter hurdles in life, even frightening earthquakes, but never stop, aim higher and escalate. I also stumbled and fell in my journey. Yeah, I made mistakes. Still, I elevate and stay awake. Fueling my mind with positive energy. While I vibe and meditate, I pay close attention to nature and sounds birds make. People business, when I discuss it, mix up and I partake, my heart aches. I can't take liars and pretenders all fake. Hence why I separate myself from illusion. Confusion will never penetrate the core of my mind. I smile, I embrace greatness, fearless among all human race. Notice this face, when I live trace, I will never disgrace my people for position, rather empower you in this case. But it's somewhat complicated when the world is in a sick state. Love, politics, and religion are folks in a trick state. Miseducation, misinformation, misunderstandings, mistakes are the reason for your failure. So rise and surprise them with a bliss face. Yeah, because nowadays our kids are glued to their gadgets, and most of these so-called influencers are influencing our kids the wrong way. So when I say our children, my kids, your kids, everybody's kids, and your kids to come, for those who haven't got kids yet. Nothing wrong is the next one I'm going to do real quick. There's absolutely nothing wrong in you asking the wrong questions. What makes it correct is when you've been provided with the right answers. Nothing wrong in you making mistakes. In this case, what makes it great is when you learn from your errors and you elevate. Penetrate and meditate on the great things you desire to achieve in life. Separate yourself from people who don't want to see you thrive. Realize Life is no bed of roses or on a smooth pathway. There are hurdles to overcome. There are bitterness on harsh days. There are the moments of sadness and grief, and there are the moments of happiness. Make you feel like you want to laugh all day. During your first heartbreak, you probably yelled at yourself in the mirror, I can't take this no more. No joking, perhaps you'd be smoking or consuming alcoholic substances like you never done before. It's like your entire world keep crumbling while you're grumbling. Why have you done this to me? Nothing wrong in you crying, expressing your emotions, no need for fightings or commotions. We were educated poorly about love. Ignorance is like an addiction and will mess you up like drugs. What makes it wrong is when you allow your negative thoughts to become your actions. So think first and allow time to heal you. Nothing wrong in giving spaces or letting go if it not work out to be the best. Think about it, probably that'll cause the stress. Nothing wrong in you seeking advice or counseling when you really need help. Someone really love you, don't continue to blame yourself. And after you overcome the dark phase, you'll be the stronger version of self, and you will learn to love and appreciate your very own existence. In life, we encounter challenges, tackle something new. Nothing wrong in taking risks as entrepreneurs do. If no one believes in what you're passionate about, at least you believe in you. And that's where it all started, for your dreams to become true. Nothing wrong if you fail at first, it's all a part of the game. I'm not saying you're the worst, so as long as you don't give up, try harder again. Sure, you will prevail. With persistence, my friends, winning is a must. I am Amaziah the Great, in God I put my trust. Next one real quick, I'm gonna drop it, it's called Sick. Maddie, I am sick, it's no jokes, pay attention closely. I'm sick and lonely with no one to hold me. Boldly she told me I was her one and only. Someday I'm sick of her lies because she was in bed with Anthony. I'm sick of fake friends who will never promote me. I'm sick of being talented and even my family doubts me. I'm sick of the shit radio stations play mostly. If it wasn't for Mrs. Lori Kirkland, you people here would have never heard about you. I'm sick in a cold, dark world. Sick without my life now seems to sparkle. Sick of crying tears, no one to talk to. And Johnny hears me grumbling in the bathroom and asks, Daddy, why you are arguing? I'm just sick of being broke, son, and can't even do what I want to do. I'm sick of fake foods and fake medication. I'm sick of fake news and fake information. Some sick and confused fake education. I must say the great views. Rizen, we're living among a sick generation. The fight. In this mind of mine, I took time to find more time to be fine. As my thoughts incline and climb and I. Jill, I refuse to let even drain energy from I. Monsters are creeping, thinking I'm sleeping. I'm fully awake, 4 decades bleeding. Fighting while smiling, even while I'm weeping. The journey continues, even while I'm bleeding. You'll never make it. I ignore their speaking. Their fiction, signal and misleading. Persuasion invasions, beasts and zombies trying to control me but can't understand me. Be silent. Fight without violence. Spoken words subdue you like a hostage tyrant. I am your children's children. History assignment. Writing myself in the future with provoking highlights to capture your eyesight. I need you to understand me. It's pointless you try and ban me. I'm fueling the world with words like bright lights. I write what I like, whether or not you like it's my choice. I'm greater than you thought. Tell them precisely. The fight continues. There are many others just like me. I'm gonna do 2 more. And then we can take some photographs and then we can, get some more of Lori's book. Promoting my wife's book, Tucked in Flores, it didn't play inside. We also got a book out, it's called Don't Cry by Craig A. Kirkland. And I'm gonna do that title for the book. I dedicated it to my parents and my kids. Don't cry. Mama, don't cry. I'm gonna make this work. Never stop praying for us, even when you're experiencing the worst. I am your fighting tough days, Mom. Inside hurts, but don't cry. Even though tears in my eyes, I'm crying out to God as if I'm inside a church. Listen to this, I will not quit, even if I have to keep crawling on the dirt. Don't cry. Dada, don't cry. You try to make things work. You're my first hero. You motivate me to serve. Some about the ball thinking I failed. Dada, I value your worth. You inspired me immensely. Almighty God is at work. Vinnie, I am going to ignite luminosity all over this earth. I told my kids, don't cry. They never got it at first. So exciting to see Daddy's first merch. It's not like my sales boosting online. Honestly, at times it seemed like my life in reverse. Mel, many people depending on me. I have to emerge. I swear to God, I'm going to break this generational curse. Don't cry. The next one I'm going to do is called Leave. And a lot of times we have persons experiencing sad and dark, bitter relationship. And I might say leave easily, but sometimes it's not that so simple. And most people because of fear and threat and all these things. But we don't condone those type of arrogant, evil behavior. No man or woman should be held against his or her own free will. Why are you sending threats? Who are you going to kill? In my face, you plant a fist followed by multiple kicks. I scream for help, I bawl. Yet you never resist like a slave. I was whipped, bruised all over like tattoos to my skin. Still, never fought back. If I did, I might have been killed. It's not like I was afraid of you. It's just that I never expect that. Guess what? I will never forget that. Even when you say sorry a million times, I can never forget that. How did it come to this? Yesterday, a relationship was like one of the best things on earth. You promised you love me forever, for better, for worse. I gave you my all just to make things work. Now today, I'm so disappointed as a true color surf. You're just a pretenders heart dark and crammed with dirt. Please, leave me alone. You never value my worth. Tomorrow I'll be gone with the wind. Makes no sense you search. And now to you, listen my poem. I know what abuse and depression is. And it's why I'm reaching out to you. Yes, you. My suggestion is, if counseling can't fix situation, leave. No matter what the circumstance is, leave. You already experienced what evil mixed with ignorance is, leave. There is no progression with aggression. So my question is, will you leave? I'm not telling you to leave now, though. I'm gonna do a final one. I did say the last one, but you'll be okay is the next one I want to do. Yes, because I can't let you leave on that note. Yeah. You will be okay is one of my favorite because I go around and I say this to almost everyone. And I remember Lori and I was in New Hampshire in the White Mountains, and I saw this young lady. So she was not looking too pleased. And I said, hey, Lori, I'm going to say a poem for her. She said, go ahead. I thought she would be saying, no, don't, but, you know, because I got some poems. You know, Lori's okay with them, I think. But when I talk about the artwork and all of that, I'm like, okay. So you'll be okay. Here's the poem I sent for her, and she cried, yo. She said her boyfriend was locked down because there was a mass shooting. I think some people got killed in Maine, and you know, she wanted to see him, but he was in camp and he could not move. So when I said that to her, she was really pleased. Yeah. So I make recordings each time I go these places, and I say, poetry, you'll be okay. And the other day, Lori said to me, instead of saying directly to females, how about making it universal for everybody? So without me saying, ladies, you'll be okay, I'm just going to tell everyone, Vinnie, you'll be okay. Sir, you'll be okay. Mike, you'll be okay. So everyone, Kirk, you'll be okay. Everybody, you are remarkable. You are strong. You are one of God's greatest gifts. Follow him and you'll never go wrong. You are smart. You are noble. Pay keen ears to these words I told you. The skies were overcast and then torrential rain for days. Throughout your darkest moments, you experience pain for days. cold and bitter, angry and confused, but be cautious with your steps before you make the wrong moves. And if you're feeling a bit empty right now, somewhat unsatisfied, fret not, for God already sent an angel to be your travel guide. Vinnie, you'll be okay. Just know that God is real. After you overcome the sophisticated phase of the strongest you ever feel, you are remarkable. You are unique. So trample all hypocrites beneath your feet. Be patient and pray more. You'll be okay. Forget about them who not believe in you because they got no time to play. Mike, you're a fighter, a survivor who resists to quit. Sandy, you're loved. You deserve lifetime happiness. Monica, Mel, Sandy, every one of you all, thanks so very much for making it to the 5th anniversary of Pawtucket Poetry. Lori was wondering, should I continue with this event, the 5th event? And I was like, yeah, Lori, continue with it because you ignite the fire in so many people's hearts. I don't want to talk too much about that now because next thing you know, she'll be shedding tears. But you all mean so much to her. And, you know, she's really elated, as she mentioned before, to see you all here. And, you know, she always been talking about Michael ever since, as day one. Big respect to Jill, just the same. She could not make other Jill, or first Jill. Jill Miller. Yeah, but everyone has been supporting to the Pawtucket Poetry. We really appreciate and we give thanks. Ayana? What's the first name? Zara. Yeah, thanks for, you know, turning up to support. I really do appreciate that. Thanks to Lit Arts RI for giving us this space to, you know, do our thing. Maximum love and respect goes out to Jody. Every one of you all, we really appreciate and give thanks. So see you next year again.
Yes.
How many? So you all want to be at the 6th?
I told him not again until the 10th.
That's so good.
She wants to wait for the 10th anniversary. I'm like, no, I continue every year.
9 o'clock, gotta go.
9 o'clock. So hold on a second. Pawtucket Poetry continues weekly.
Next week.
Next week. What time is the date?
Monday.
13.
Okay, so 13th, everyone here in the audience here, and on the internet. If you are in Rhode Island, check out the Pawtucket Poetry weekly event. Thanks so very much.
Thank you.
That's it. I would love to. Then how do I pay you for it?
Oh my God, you shine like the sun.
Oh, you're so sweet. You look very happy.
Oh, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Happy New Year.
Oh, yeah, that's true, right? We had Christmas and New Year's. Yeah, I miss you guys.
Yeah.
You know?
I've been to a meeting, you know, and I'm hopping in.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we're overdue.
yeah. I do.
Okay, viewers, fans, friends, my family, them, subscribers, everybody, thanks so much for watching. Please do feel absolutely free to drop us your comment and be kind to leave a feedback. Yeah, comment, like, share, and tell others about it. And also remember to hit the notification bell if you want to be updated on what's new. Talking about what's new, go and go check out Amazon. Have great collections. We have whole heap of merchandise for going with a bag of things. Enough t-shirt designs, don't tell them precisely. Available on Teespring. Enough people are talk about it, but go and go look for yourselves. Links will be in the description below. We have tabs for females, males, babies, cups, phone cases, etc. Mr. Go and go look now. Follow us there, the great collection on IG, and like us on Facebook. If you haven't watched My Name is Pam before, features my sister Quality. Please do go and go watch it and share it as it relates to domestic abuse against women and a woman's struggle through it to independence. Also remember to check out Amazon the great music on Amazon, Spotify, Tidal, Deezer, Google Play. It's everywhere.